it's the crazy Canadian to give you your review of your skeleton.
With Johnny Sticks.
With Johnny Sticks. All right, here we go. All right, so your review, your test. Now, let me, my arthritis is killed. Okay, so let me recap what I was going to say. Today, we are going to put the test online. You're going to have to 1 minute before midnight Friday to get this done.
Okay.
Seniors, you got to get it done or it's a 0. Your grade stops on the 15th. All right, here we go. All right, first thing we did, we taught you is discriminant. All right, what was the discriminant? The discriminant, the formula, which we will give you, is b squared minus 4ac. So when they give you an equation, it could be any equation, 3x squared plus 4x minus 6. You have to plug it in. And when you plug in your A, B, C, remember standard form, in here, you're going to get an answer. If you get a positive answer, it's going to be 2 real solutions. If you get a negative answer, it's going to be 2 imaginary, or the word complex might occur. All right, solutions. And if you get the number 0, you got 1 real solution. All right? That's all you got to know about discriminant. All right, so for example, let's do this one real fast. Your A is 3, your B is 4, your C is negative 6. Let's go. Plug it in. Everything goes in brackets. 4 squared minus 4 times 3 times negative 6. 4 squared is 16. Order of operation, negative 12. Negative 12, be careful. Time negative 6 is positive 72. The answer is 88. You write 2 real solutions. Got it? That's all you got to do. All right. So that's the discriminant. All right, you're going to get probably a few questions on that. Okay, second thing we did is, does the parabola open up or down? How do we know if the parabola opens up and down? When we look at a squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Standard form, all that we care about is the a. Anybody in front of the x squared, you tell me says. So if it says 3x squared plus 6x, what is it? It opens up because what's in front of the x squared there. But if I give you a tricky one like 2 minus 3x minus 6x squared, let's put this as plus. What is that? We look at where the square is, and look, it's negative. It opens down. All right? Got it? You're going to have a couple of those. All right. Going along, Anthony. Okay. Then number 3, we graphed the parabola. Now, when we graph the parabola, we learned that if we graph this guy, for example, if I give you a hard one like that, we can graph it. We graphed 1 million of these down 4. And then we went opposite. Everything in the side is opposite, which is negative 2. That was called the vertex from the other day. All right. Oh, before I graph it, we look here. If it's negative, we flip it. If it's positive, it's an upward parabola. So that's down. Now, if I ask you here, okay, on this right here, if I ask you, what are the 2 moves that we made? Forget about graphing it. If I ask you, what are the 2 moves we made? You would say down 4 and, be careful, opposite. You would say left 2. Got it? That's it. No big deal. If I were to say, what are the 3 moves? We would say down 4, left 2, and we flipped it. Or it's a downward parabola. Got it? It's a little bit about everything. All right? So that's graphing and talking about the parabola. Okay? So if I give you y equals x squared minus 3, and I ask you for the 2 moves, all right, we would say, or let's say I ask you for 2 moves. Well, the only 2 moves I can see is down 3. We don't move here, But guess what? It's positive, so it's an upward parabola. If I give you another question like this, what are my two moves? I can say we don't move here up and down, but we do move here. It's opposite, not to the left. We go opposite way. We say right 4 and downward parabola because we flip it. Got it? All right, beautiful about graphing this junk and moving and the moves like Anthony. All right, number 4. Axis of symmetry. What's the axis of symmetry do? It cuts the graph in half. So, if I tell you the graph is, for example, cut here on 4, and I say, what is the axis of symmetry? You would say, this is the x, it's the y-axis, x equals 4. But if I tell you in words, the axis of symmetry cuts the graph at -3. All right? And I tell you the axis of symmetry cuts the graph on the x-axis at -3. What would you write? You would write -3 if you want to graph it, but you don't need to. We say it's on the x-axis. X equals -3. There's your axis of symmetry stuff. All right, moving right along, Anthony. All right, vertex, number 5, vertex. Now, there were 2 ways to find the vertex. All right, there was the one way when I gave you this. And then there was another way when I gave you something in standard form. Okay? How did I find the vertex? Well, first of all, there's a lot of you in my class what's in this form that you could probably give me the vertex by just looking at it. But there's probably half of you that can't do that. So what do you got to do? You got to graph it. All right? Some of you can, some of you don't. Personally, I would graph it on your scrap paper because it's all open book. It's all open notes. You can have whatever the heck you want in front of there. So I would graph this guy first instead of just trying here. So I graph it. Down 4. Opposite anything in brackets. And it's an upward parabola. So now, look at this. Look how easy. I graphed it. My vertex is what? -3, and what's that? -4. Done. Finish. Now, if you didn't graph it, you could have said, look, down 4 on the y, -4, and opposite is -3. Yes, but a lot of people need to graph it. Now, if I say, what's the axis of symmetry, you know, bang, 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 x equals -3, and we're done. But, last but not least, if I tell you to give me the vertex of this, you can't graph this. So what do? Will you use D, which we are going to give you, be nice, we're going to give you the what? Vertex formula. Okay? So we're going to plug in. What's your B? Your B is 6. What's your A? A is 1. I would have gone like this. Always like you guys to make a legend, okay? And we get -3. We'll divide it. But, so now we know your vertex is -3 blank. A vertex is a point, guys. Look, a point. What do you got to do in -3? Go plug it back in there. That's it. So let's go plug it here. -3 squared plus 6 times -3 plus 4. What's -3 times -3? Never put a negative.
know.
Is 9. Good job. And then 6 times -3 is -18 plus 4. 9 minus 18 is -9 plus 4 equals -5. And we go here, we put -5. There is the vertex. 2 different ways, and that's it, guys. We left the last test to be very easy. You can't get 100 on this test, and I'll tell you right now. My wife's giving me the eye like, be careful what you say. All right, if you can't get 100 on this test, I'm going to get my son Anthony to give you a nice knuckle sandwich. How's that, Anthony?
No.
No?
No.
Why not? All right, well, what do you want to tell him about the test tomorrow?
Okay. Stand back here.
Okay.
Okay. Just what Mr. Mastella says about the text. looking at and students and about Mr. Light for 4 years. And
No, it's Mr. Amos now.
Oh, Mr. Amos here.
Right.
I just want to say, make sure that you do the test. If you get 100%, that will be okay. You guys will graduate.
Right.
Yay, so
And if
do
you
your
don't get
best.
100%, what are we going to give them?
No.
Oh, what?
That's
What?
right. That's not nice. That's right.
What are we going to give them?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. Do
All
your
right, say
best.
bye.
Bye. Happy graduate.